This particular Venus retrograde is so incredibly important. It is one that is going to show us something very specific about our own worth. It is going to be about the subjects of the unfaithful ex, the fake friend, being undervalued in your position over and over again. These are just some of those examples that Venus in Aries, as it starts to go deeper into its retrograde, starts to reveal to us. These are things that are not easy to deal with, and often we go through many repetitive situations and experiences before we really get it, before we're really free, and before we're ready to break free and say, you know what, I don't want to deal with this anymore. That is what we're going to dive into in this week's weekly AstroTea. Welcome back to AstroTea, my friends. This week is going to be a really important episode because it kind of sets the tone and the stage for what's to come with this Venus retrograde. If you're here for the first time, welcome to an episode of the weekly AstroTea. This is your go-to podcast for decoding the stars, aligning your energy, and stepping into your truth. I'm Aylin Sky, and today we have a powerful transit to unpack. It's time to trust your inner compass because vindication is on the horizon. Now, I want to break down this Venus retrograde. Let's talk about this big shakeup that this Venus retrograde is going to bring us. Venus is now retrograding in Aries. Venus, our planet of love, relationship, beauty, and value, is taking a journey inward. Every time that it retrogrades, it means that we're going more inward. And where is she doing it? Well, she is doing it in Aries, a sign that is bold, fiery, action-oriented, and unapologetically direct. When Venus is in Aries, she doesn't wait for permission at all. She knows what she wants, she goes after it, and she is all about feeling like she is winning. But here's the twist. Venus won't stay in Aries for the entire retrograde. Nope. She is taking a deep dive back into Pisces, all the way to 24 degrees, and that's where the reveal and the real revelation happens. This is where our illusion in relationships, whether friendships, partnerships, or romantic connections, will shatter, revealing the undeniable truth. Now, we can't talk about Venus retrograde without bringing Neptune into the mix. Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, and spirituality, has been casting a fog over certain situations in our lives. It's been going in and out of this fog for quite some time. And so this is sort of the pivotal point of this fog that we will be experiencing, because the fog is moving out. Maybe you've been romanticizing a relationship that wasn't truly aligned, trusting someone who wasn't honest, or holding onto a version of love that wasn't real. But guess what? This retrograde is delivering clarity. The truth is coming out. And for some people, that is going to taste like a big, bold, old slice of humble pie. If you've been wronged in a relationship, if someone has taken your kindness for weakness, this is your moment of vindication. The universe is setting the record straight, and what was once hidden is coming into the light. I want to give a couple of examples of this so that you have a little bit more relatability in what this might look like. For example, let's pick one example of the unfaithful ex. Many of us have experienced an unfaithful ex. Maybe you suspected your ex wasn't being honest, but they gaslit you into thinking you were overreacting. Well, this Venus retrograde might bring confirmation of what you already knew. Maybe someone sends you a message, or finally a piece together of the clues that you've ignored before. Another example could be a fake friend. We've experienced a fake friend before, right? That friend who only called when they needed something. The one who never reciprocated your energy. This retrograde might show you their true colors, but more importantly, it'll remind you of your own worth so that you can move on without guilt. And I think that this is going to be a very important aspect here, the letting go of guilt. Another example is the job that you were maybe undervalued in. If you were passed up for a promotion or undervalued at work, or you never get the recognition that you deserve, this retrograde could bring an opportunity for a better role elsewhere, one that recognizes your skills and pays you accordingly, which is huge, right? If we feel appreciated, recognized, and valued, we become even better at what it is that we do. So if you find yourself in any of these three categories, or a category that's similar to this, the vindication is on the horizon. It is going to unfold over the next several weeks. What I'm seeing when I'm taking a look at the chart is three very important positive things that we might be experiencing on the emotional realm. We're being hopeful, we feel ready, and we feel empowered. The universe is placing the next puzzle piece into the grand picture in your life. And you're finally starting to see how everything starts to connect, like the next piece is being revealed. Use this time, though, to trust your gut. If something feels off in a relationship, it probably is. If you feel drawn to revisit past wounds for closure, lean into it. And if you're seeing things more clearly than ever before, don't ignore it. This is really and truly the time to embrace it. I do want to talk about Neptune and Pisces in this week's episode because it is so important right now for us to pay attention to Neptune, because Neptune is at 29 degrees in Pisces. It is currently opposing Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, and this suggests a very intense dynamic between illusion and the raw truth. This is about a spiritual time, a time where we feel like we're getting the signs, we're getting spiritual, in-depth dreams or omens or signs all around us. And it is via the earthly experience, right? And this allows us to have a really good sense of reality or discernment so that we can surrender to what is actually happening. And then there is sort of a rebellion that might come out of this over the next several weeks. And this is obviously in connection to this Venus in Aries retrograde. Now, I want to cover some of the key themes of where Neptune is at right now, because this might help you in this week's AstroTea to kind of unpack or get some validation as to what you're experiencing. The themes of Neptune at 29 is going to be illusion versus reality. Neptune at 29 is an anaretic degree, which means that it's really at a very highly potent energy frequency, marking the final expression of dreams, spirituality, illusion in Pisces before shifting into Aries, which we will really experience a brand new beginning when it comes into Aries, and we'll cover that at a later time. This Neptune in Pisces intensifies themes of disillusion, escapism, divine connection, and also mysticism. Now, Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, I want to talk about that because Neptune is in an opposition to it. And it's really important that we talk about this and cover this, because Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, and in general, Black Moon Lilith represents a part of us that works through fears. And I would say that these fears are coupled with sometimes what motivates us to act on our fears, okay? Because we don't want to feel the fear, or we want to overcome the fear. And here, Black Moon Lilith in Virgo represents a radical independence, questioning societal norms, and exposing suppressed truths. It challenges perfectionism and rigid structures. So those are some of the themes that we're taking a look at. Right now, Neptune in Pisces is opposing this Black Moon Lilith. So you may feel torn between faith and surrendering to this faith, which is Neptune, and needing to control the perfect thing, which is Lilith in Virgo. This opposition can bring up a lot of fears of being deceived, feeling like somebody is playing with you, somebody is manipulating you, or somebody just simply doesn't see you, right? Like that can be a huge thing that comes up for a lot of people. It might be that you finally recognize that there is a part of you that feels insecure or wounded in the area of not being seen, making it crucial right now to discern between, is that true? Is that the truth about you, the truth about your life? Or is that something that was once true based on an experience, but now can there be another reality to it? Those are some of the things that might come up. The other thing with Lilith in Virgo is that Lilith in Virgo wants to uncover hidden truths. It wants to challenge authority, while Neptune in Pisces wants to dissolve the boundaries and embrace unity. So this aspect can create a struggle between intuition versus relying on logic, or between embracing the unknown versus clinging to a structure. So there can be like a push-pull right now between these two types of themes. Which brings me to, what is our part, right? What is our part as a collective? What are we working on? What are we supposed to be working on right now? You're going to see themes of issues with trust, issues with betrayal, and the subconscious fears that may surface with all of those things. A deep need for self-sovereignty, while simultaneously yearning for a divine connection and unity. We want to have faith. We want faith. We're thirsty for faith. That is sort of like that Neptune, the high potency of where Neptune is at right now. Feminine energy, sexuality, the autonomy may be highlighted here, particularly in rejecting societal norms that suppress and repress sort of a very truthful expression of these themes I just mentioned, which is huge. We could be working, dealing with it, seeing themes of this, having more conversations around these themes right now. I would say that the manifestation theme for this particular month, it's not just this week, but it's going to be this month, balancing faith with discernment and surrendering with empowerment is a manifestation here. It's the potential of us manifesting it. Developing the ability to trust intuition without falling into delusion is a huge one. Using our spiritual awareness to heal the past, right? To heal these triggers, or at least to recognize them that are related to rejection, isolation, and misunderstanding. This is going to be a big one. And I don't know about you guys out there, whoever is listening to this podcast, I just want you to know, I hear you, I see you. When I take a look at these charts, when I do these readings for you guys on the weekly basis, I'm going through it too. I'm going through it too. Like this beginning of this week, I dealt with a very similar pattern that has come up that has to do with rejection and not being seen. And it has to do with a specific line of work that is not related to the astrology at all, my astrology work. And it sucked. It sucked going through it. It sucked seeing that I still have a wound in this area. And I just want to share with you that I was able to stay calmer this time. And I was able to have less of the patterns where I'm reacting to these things. And just being able to see it from that angle without the reaction was huge for me, because I was able to heal something within me. I was questioning my own trigger. And I had not been able to question this trigger before, Like, why is it that I am feeling this way in this area? And now I could give you a million examples of why I felt this way. Because in the past, there was many times, where in a classroom I wasn't picked even though I was raising my hand. And I wanted to contribute, but my contributions weren't fully allowed or fully in that moment given a platform for me to express it. So numerous of these types of examples I can give you from me to you. What I'm trying to say is question your trigger. is that really the way that you want to live? Is that really the way that you need to live for the rest of your life? And can you see it? Can you see it? Can you have compassion for what you are going through right now in your life and the triggers that might come up that make you angry, make you feel rejected, make you feel unseen or misunderstood at some point? And this will tie into all of the relationships that you have, because it will give you access to change something that maybe you felt helpless in. Maybe you felt like, I can't change this. I am doomed. I'm going to be like this for the rest of my life. When in reality, this transit calls for a deep reflection and the integration of Neptune and Pisces with the practical Lilith in Virgo, okay? It's an opportunity to break free from false beliefs, to develop your spiritual queen status, okay? Your spiritual sovereignty, your spiritual freedom. And it can look anything like spiritual. When I'm talking about spiritual freedom, we're talking about prayer. We're talking about ways in which you connect to God, the universe, the force. And then as a result, you trust your inner wisdom more, your inner compass, because it already knows where it wants to go. It already knows what it wants to feel. And that way you can stay grounded in the reality that you're in. Right? Sometimes we need this polarity to wiggle ourselves, to get knocked off from this illusion that we have been experiencing back into reality. And sometimes that knock from that illusion into reality doesn't feel good. So if you are in this position, what I am trying to share with you is that whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, I want you to look at if there is any triggers around it. And if there is, knock yourself off that illusion into reality and use compassion as a window to get there. And you will find for the first time a moment where you can breathe again, a moment where you feel like, okay, I see this about myself and I can love on myself and I can be compassionate. I can show myself some grace. So that's what I want to leave you with for this week's Astro Tea. This is the tea. How can you allow to break free from false beliefs? Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I am so grateful for everyone who is tuning in. Don't forget, I am giving away free readings every 500 downloads per episode. All you have to do is go onto my website, AylinSkyAstro.com, sign up for my newsletter. Once you're signed up, I will be picking winners from that list. I'm seeing the downloads coming in and they're increasing every single week. Thank you so much to everyone who's listening worldwide. It blows me away still to this day that I'm able to see everybody who downloads, and we are in hundreds of cities. It is awesome. Thank you so much for listening. Follow me on Instagram or on TikTok at AstroSky Aylin. It's the same handle for TikTok and Instagram. And I will be back here with you for the next week's episode, AstroTea Weekly, giving you the tea, giving you everything that you need to know so that you have the guidance to operate and navigate the week ahead.